Hi folks, I'm going to try and do another rough one, creating an illusion really, or trying to create an illusion with very little attempt at detail, but just the shape of things, but using the colours to create some sort of impression and a bit of rigour afterwards. I want to do a pond or a lake scene, simple, and with just trees and a bit of background. The one I did yesterday, I put on my seat while I was preparing my easel to show you the latest one in the frame. I sat on the picture, so I had to go and repaint it a bit. Oh no, I didn't. It was after. I forgot to photograph it. I went up. But anyway, I had to do a bit of a repaint on it. That was a bit of a disaster, but it doesn't. You never know. Right. Okay. So the horizon. Well, I prefer pond. If like yesterday, I put a sort of a footpath in, a rough footpath, which led you into the painting. I've got to find another way of doing that. I can have a bit more water on one side. Just leaves that there. Could be a sort of a rivery scene. And of course, you've got to have some distance. And trees. Let's have some big ones over here. Well, that's shining a bit, but I think the blue I put in the yesterday's painting was just a little bit too blue. But we'll might even put a boathouse in or something, even a yacht on it. Right. There's my basic palette. It's cadmium red, ultramarine, Payne's red. Oh, not quite. I forgot my burnt sienna. Burnt sienna. This is Winton. There are no artist quality paints on there other than the white, because I was given a dozen or so paints, most of which I probably won't use. I'll give them away when I do my demonstration for the art club I used to belong to. I've tried with this bright red. It's a lovely colour. It'd be great in abstract, but it's just a bit too. Well, mixing with the blue, it goes too mauvey, too purpley. But the cad red seems to be okay. I've always used it. So that is my basic palette. I try to stick with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is to put out a bit of this liquid. I've never used liquid before, but it's really good. It does stretch the paint. I wonder if it needs just a bit of a shake, because it's probably very old. So I got this with all the paints and the papers and the canvases, and I'll put the canvases somewhere. I don't know if I know where I've put them. There we are, that'll do. I used to buy all the stuff off eBay, but they banned me for some reason. I've got an idea. My page on eBay's been hacked because the username is wrong. But you can't get through to them. They don't give a damn about the past punters. And I sent £150 off as payment for a Canon Legria 806 camera, which is used, and it looked really too good to be true, really. I haven't received it yet after 3 days, so 4 days. It's supposed to come yesterday or Wednesday, but it didn't. So Sunday or Monday I got onto PayPal and they'll sort it out. I've been scammed and I've lost my. I can't buy it off eBay for the moment, so I've got Amazon, and most of my stuff is artist materials, which I can buy direct from Ken Bromley or Curtis Ward or Art Discount. So that's down to eBay. Right. So let's put a bit of the water in. I will do shadow or sort of reflections So let's just get a bit of white, touch of blue. This is better than the linseed for spreading and holding its power. It's really, really good. I can put blue down the bottom here. Just a touch of the blue in this. I will stiffen it up later. This is I'm going mad here. Okay, so we can block that in both sides. We'll see. But, okay, that should dry off a bit, and I'll do some sky work now. I want this rough. I'm going to try and do what I did yesterday, but I don't want to repeat myself with the shapes. That's always a problem. You do one and you do another one, they look identical. And that's what we're trying to avoid. We want trees in the picture, but we want some landscape as well. So, well, let's do a bit of landscape. No, I won't do that. I'll use this brush. I'll put a bit of blue sky over the top. Oh, this is a 18 inches by 12 inches, just over. And primed with one coat of PVA glue, which I dried. Then I went over it with another coat of PVA glue mixed with some burnt umber acrylic paint and dried that with the hairdryer. So I want some white going up into the top here. We'll fill the rest in with cloud, light cloud. Get that nice and dark. The darkest blue is obviously is at the top. Let's clean the brush out. And the blue will be in the foreground. Darker than that probably, because when you're looking down into the water, it's reflecting the highest point of the sky that you can actually see. But you know all this. Right, I'll change. I'll keep the one brush I did yesterday. Now I'm enjoying making my clouds light, but with a touch of burnt sienna. It's Winsor and Newton is a beautiful colour. So we'll have a bit of white. A bit of that, a bit of liquid, a bit more white. And probably a good cloud grey would be the Payne's grey. You don't have to use Payne's grey, you can use black. I've used black. Man, they use loads of black, I believe. I watched a really good old documentary on YouTube yesterday. It was on Mark Chagall. Saw his wonderful design stained glass window in in Chichester Cathedral. Seen it many times. We used to go to Chichester quite a lot. Not too much paint behind Birmingham trees. Fairly noise starts up. It's Charlie doing putting the new bathroom. We had a separate loo on the landing, a very small bathroom. And I like the bath because I could laze in it and watch stuff on YouTube. all the latest political stuff. Alright, well that's coming on now. Let's have a look on the screen. Yeah, that's looking good. You can also let your ground colour show through, which is the burnt umber. Constable used to use that, but I think the umber he used was probably a bit redder than this one. Let's bring that down a little bit there, just to give a bit of air to the background. And we'll put some. We've got to come down to here though. Put some impasto on here. Get some impasto, just mix it with a bit of that sienna. Clouds aren't white, they contain a lot of colour, light they may be, but white, no. Right, I'm going to get some of that more luminous blue if I can, but it is artist quality, so no, that's too light. Let's get that on. Just blend it with the edge of that cloud. That reminds me I haven't done that bit yet. The blue going down into that cloud. Right, okay, that'll do for the sky for the moment. We need to get on with some landscape. And now the horizon is about there, isn't it? But we can go uphill a bit. So let's change that brush. Get this lovely brush. I forgot to clean this one yesterday in the melee that's going on in my house at the moment. So I picked it up earlier, about half an hour ago, and it was a bit stiff with the paint that had partially dried. Bit of washing up liquid and a bit of water, screw the fingers, look, it's perfect. I even got the paint off my backside on the jeans with the fairy liquid British dishwasher stuff, not dishwasher, washing up, as distinct from a dishwasher. And I clean all my brushes now with it. It's non-toxic, it cleans your hands, wonderful. Right, so let's have a nice green. Let's be joyful. Let's get the liquid. See how the liquid, it just gives it's like a flow medium. And we can have some dark in here. Have a bit of this, bit of ochre, bit of sienna, just coming down the bank here. Oh, I love oil painting. Sorry about the watercolours, folks. I do them when I sort of get a bit dry with the oil, but I do just love the way you can move paint around, and you can, if you make a mistake or you don't like something, you can just blot it out. Bit of yellow and a bit of ochre. I don't want to labour this. It's what you leave out is the important thing. Oh, that's a bit of this and a bit of that. Right, we'll go back to that. It's just a rough laying. We'll get some stuff on it now. Touch of Payne's Grey. Hope my head's not getting in the way. I try to leave the paint unfinished to create an impression of something going on, but without actually labelling it. So this is what the impression. I'm no don't compare me. I don't compare myself with impressionists. I do what I do, but they fathomed out early on that it's not all the detail that you put in; it's what you leave out. It connects, so your brain connects up the dots. It's like putting a fence in. Don't connect everything perfectly. Just leave something for the viewer to imagine. Oh, I can have a bit of a bush there. Oh gosh, I love this. I listen to the radio as well. I only listen to talk radio or GB News, the news station, GB News. Because if I listen to music, and I do love music, I like singing, but I'll be jumping up and down to the music. I tried that years ago, and I just would paint in time with the music, and I get angry, so I stopped listening to music. Just like a certain noise, keep me up, keep me brain in gear while I do all this. Alright, now we want nice dark greeny stuff in here. I want this quite big. Could put your shadow in. I'm just using, for mixing the primaries. It's amazing what you can do with one brush. Now we can put our light in here. It's coming through the shadow. Oh yeah, I like that. Just develop that a little bit there. Right, okay, that's one. Let's get this one in over this here now. Remember the dark. This is just any old dark. Mix a bit of green with it, with yellow. I don't use, or seldom use, greens, ready mixed greens. I prefer to make greens. Look, you've got green everywhere. Just with the Payne's Grey, you can just get a terrific range of greens. You don't need to buy greens. But now, having said that, I'm going to be demonstrating a toneless painting with a green and a red ochre. Let's get that dark colour in here. Hey. Loads of colour in here. Sorry if my head's in the way. I can't see the screen because it's behind my head on my little camcorder. Plenty of colour in here. Right, now let's just develop this foreground. Oh, we've got to do some background in there. Let's see what that colour does. Right, let's just get a bit of light on the horizon here. Oh, we'll sort the water out in a minute. Hopefully that will be drying a little bit with the liquid. Now we're going to just carry on using these brushes just to get some darks in the foreground. Oh, it's nice that liquid. Right, now we've got that dark there. Let's just drag it down a bit. Okay, well, that's all right. We're going to do a lot more on there. All right, see if we can just get some bit more colour in that background here. Right, I'm not going to do too close to those trees because I don't want to bring that green into the melee. Just brighten it all up. Alright, let's get a little bit of light across there now, just Right, now we're going to, I'll change the brush now to a smaller brush, bit of liquid. We'll drag the paint down into that. Let's get a bit of that to a grey colour there. So just blend. Otherwise, it just bring the light into the dark, dark into the light, sky into the edge of the wall, that sort of thing. Because it would not be exact to say that the horizon of the distant sea horizon is really sharp, but on some photographs it looks sharp. It looks sharp when you look at it. But if you paint it sharp, it doesn't really work. It's bringing the sea into the sky into the sea, the sky into the side of a wall. But now we're going to be careful because that is not taking the paint. So some wind ruffle. Right, let's see what we can do with that overhead blue. Oh, that's quite good actually. That's gone quite nicely there. Getting a little bit of reflection. Same here. So we've got a bit of an overhang there, so we can paint that, put that in. Okay, let's see if we can drag some of that down now, just to merge it a bit. Let's get some of that down, a bit dark. Right, okay, well that looks okay. Probably we'll just add a little bit up there, a bit of my stock green, bit of liquid. This is shining in the reflection on the window. Oh no. Right, okay, we'll leave that. I'm going to put some wriggle work in that, just a little bit. Probably ruin it. But what that sort of colour. We don't want pure white. Oh. difficult to get thin enough, but just trying to create that illusion that there's a lot going on. And when you put this over a solid almost solid background, it tends to open it up and lets the air in. Right, we'll get some dark in there in a minute. Let's carry on. Try dark now, dark green, bit of liquid. Going to have to do some for my patrons tomorrow. Done enough for YouTube this week. Right, now I'm quite happy with that. We've got the reflection going through there, and we've got some of that there. I could work on it, but it would just go downhill. I'll put it in a frame and hope it don't sit on it. So bear with me, let's just dismantle my setup. Alright, so what I'm going to do is clean that palette up a bit, but leave the paint. And I'll put it in my favourite palette. Right, got the frame, I paid quite a lot for this frame, but it's getting a bit battered and used now. It's landscape I love. I've had enough of doing buildings. Right, there we are. Just move the camera a bit so you can see it all. There we are. With my horizon horizontal, sort of. So it just looks. Yeah, it's just the shape of trees and stuff. But when you put the bit of detail in, it just opens the whole thing up. Well, I hope you like that one, folks. I enjoyed doing that, and I like the brushwork in that and here. It's very random, but your brain can sort out the detail. The sky, well, a lot of the background shows through the burnt umber. And I'm quite pleased with that. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.